Hey guys, my name is Tanya, and welcome to My Therapist Needs a Therapist. I believe this might be video number 4. I'm really trying to get it done. Anyway, this one I say is going to be a quick video because I honestly just want to ask a question. This popped up in my head as I'm writing myself some notes, waiting for Spectrum to pop back on. But are you a parent that's raising a son and you have them thinking that men don't cry or boys don't cry or it's wrong to show your emotions like it's a sign of weakness? Are you a parent that's doing that? Are you? Hmm. What about you over there? Are you? If you are, cut it out. Cut it out. Because that's not true. And if you're a man and you just happen to be listening to me, that's not true. It may be some people out there that feels that way, but I'm pretty sure for a majority of us human beings, we don't feel that way. And I think my personal opinion is if you're raising your son to think showing their feelings or having a cry is a sign of weakness, that is a problem. And that is my personal opinion. So you can get in the comments and you can start cussing me out and you can give me your opinion because I really want to hear it. But my opinion is that's not true. And what brought that up, I was having a talk with my son one day, and he said that, you're not supposed to show how you feel. It's a sign of weakness. What? I was like, who told you that? I didn't. And he was like, Mom, I'm a man. You just know those things. What the hell? Like, is it in a book or something? Like, where did you read that at? Who told you that? Because, son, that's not true. And he was like, men ain't supposed to cry. We ain't supposed to show our feelings. We are the man of the house, and we supposed to blah, blah, blah. Son, who told you that bullshit? Because that's what that is. That's bullshit. Yeah, go flush that down the commode because, yeah, that brought on a whole conversation, a very long one. So I'm just going to make it short here. But basically, I honestly feel like a man that feels like they cannot show their emotions or can't have a cry when they are hurting is a sign of weakness. Because you are afraid that if you show how you feel, that you're going to appear weak. Well, in my opinion, you appear weak because you can't share how you feel. We all humans here. And so unless you have a heart of stone, I don't see nothing wrong with showing your feelings for someone or, having a cry if you're hurt. Who says you got to do it in front of people? Now, if you let's say you're in front of your girlfriend, boyfriend, or husband, wife, whatever it may be, and you having one of those conversations, and you're sad or whatever it may be, and you feel a tear coming on, or you feel that you are about to tell the person, hey, I think I really love you, or some shit like that, or I don't want to be with you, whatever it might be. If you're bottling up those emotions and keeping them inside, that is not a good thing, especially if it's anger, because it's like a volcano. It's gonna build and build and build until your top just explodes. And it might be the wrong place, wrong person, wrong time. And you don't want that. You never, what you don't want is to take anger and frustration out on someone that's innocent and don't have nothing to do with what you're going through or why you're pissed off. Or even if they just happen to piss you off at that moment, but because you have all this stuff built up, you just lash out in a way that you wouldn't have normally have. So that is a reason why you shouldn't keep those feelings balled up. And it's definitely nothing wrong with having a cry. You know, sometimes having a good cry is a good thing you can release, even if it's in private. No one has to know. But I only want to know that if you're a parent raising your son to that, I feel like it's the wrong thing to do. Maybe I'm wrong. You give me your opinion down in the chat, in the comments. I want to know how people feel. I don't think it's a good thing. And I feel like a man can be a man, a very manly man, and still share his emotions or show his emotions. No way am I saying that it's cool that a guy just walk around and he's crying all the fucking time. And that ain't cool for nobody. And every time somebody say something to you, you're crying. Oh, you hurt my feelings. No, that's not cool. But if you're hurting about something, a breakup, a conversation, or something like that, it is nothing wrong to show those emotions and to share your feelings. It's my opinion. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. Or, listen, let me address something. And I don't mean to step on anyone's toes. And I honestly think I said this in another video, but I don't know if it made the cut, so I'm going to say it now just in case it didn't. This whole gender and identifying as certain stuff, I don't get it. And I don't mean this in no way, shape, or form disrespectful. It's just that I don't get it. And I don't think that that's something that should be pushed on me after 40 plus years that I've known to speak a certain way. And what I mean by that is, like, someone brought up to me that they got in trouble on their job because they was like, hey, we'll say they was like something like, hey, is he working tonight? And the he heard him. And so they went to the boss and they was like, yeah, I feel like people are discriminating against me and they have some type of phobia because they're not accepting that I identify as they and them. It was some shit like that, and I was scratching my head. Like, what the hell? So you supposed to say, hey, is they closing? Hey, is them closing tonight? No disrespect. That's just one example. But I don't get that. And I don't mean it disrespectfully. But it's not something that I want to understand. And so on this channel, I'm not going to even try to address people that way. If you want me to address you, even in public, if I address you the wrong way, don't be fearful to correct me. And you're not going to hurt my feelings because I'll call you any fucking thing you want me to call you. I would call you by your name if I knew it. I'm horrible with names, so I'm probably going to forget it. But if I can't call you he or she, you're going to get something like, hey, I just wanted to get it off my chest. Because I don't want to step on nobody's toes here. And I don't want to seem disrespectful. But it's not something that I understand. And it's not something that I want to understand. So if you look like a man, I'm going to address you as such. If you sound like a woman, I'm going to address you as such. Now, if you look like a man and sound like a woman, I'm just going to scratch my head and keep it moving. So, yeah, I just wanted to get that off real quick. Anyway, back to the subject at hand. Yeah, I don't think it's wrong or a sign of weakness if a guy shares his emotions, his feelings. I don't. I really don't. And I don't think as a parent you should be raising your kid to be like that. It should be a happy medium. Like, I definitely would get on my kid if every time somebody picked on him, he was crying. Yeah, you correct stuff like that. Because you don't want them to be weak. But at the same time, you don't make them think that showing their feelings or crying is a sign of weakness. As a parent, you have to find that balance. Hopefully, you know the balance. Yeah. So, I just wanted to jump on here and say that. And again, I hope you're not that parent that's doing that, because he's going to probably turn out to be a guy that don't share his feelings and keep stuff bottled in, and gonna have a hard time in relationships. Yeah, so don't do that. And one last thing, if you're a mom and you have a son and you're not um, welcoming of them moving on with their life, especially if they're grown, you have a problem. And I'm gonna do a video about that. But if you a mom and you constantly up in your kids' relationships, and I say kids, but they can be grown kids, grown men. It's, look, sometimes being a mama's boy can be rather attracting or attractive. However, sometimes being a mama's boy can be horrific, especially if that son feels that he has to be there every single time the mom calls. And if the mom knows this and use that to her advantage to stay in between him and her, that's a bad thing. And I hope you're not that mom. Yeah, I hope you're not that mom. Because you're not allowing your son to go on and enjoy their life. Because you're not going to always be here. And as parents, at least I hope you hope that your kid will be burying you, not the other way around. So, when we dead and gone, we want our children to be prosperous in relationships. But if you're dragging them along and keeping your claws in them and not letting them move on with their life, and then here you are gone, and they're in their 40s or 50s, but they're used to jumping and running for you, and never had time to build a relationship, that's going to be tough on them. Or, they haven't been able to have stable relationships because of your interference. That's not good. Don't be that parent. Allow your children, girls or guys, allow your children to have their own relationship and experience their own relationship without you interfering. And and without you deliberately calling them all the time on their free time just so that you can keep your claws in them. Especially if you have a husband or, a mate at home. Deal with your mate and let your grown child, boy or girl, enjoy their life. Not saying you can't be a part of it, but you should not try to control it. Okay? We here? We here. Okay, that's it. That's all I want to say. So, if you are a parent raising your son to think that it's not okay to have a cry or to show your feelings, I want to hear from you. And I get it. It's a thin line. I get it. But I want to hear from you. And I want to hear your thoughts. And I want to know why you feel like it's okay if you think it's okay. So, if you're that mom or dad that's meddling in your kids' relationship, I ain't talking about like your teen, like 14, 15, 16. Yeah, you need to be knowledgeable of what's going on. But if your child is grown out of the house and having relationships and you always meddling in their business, you always have an opinion, and when they have a problem, you always up in their business, putting in your 2 cents, back the fuck off. Back off. Now, if your son is bringing it to you, it's nothing wrong with giving your opinion. But I think you need to let it be known that they're grown and some things they just have to figure out for themselves. Because what works for you in your relationship might not work for them. They're not dealing with the same person. Like, you're not their spouse. So what you think might work because it would work for you don't mean it would work for their spouse or their girlfriend. You get what I'm saying? So don't be that meddling parent. Don't. Don't be that parent to teach your son or your girls that men don't cry or men don't show their feelings because it's a sign of weakness. That's a sign of weakness. Okay? That's just my opinion. I'm stating my opinion. You can state yours. Leave a comment. Thanks, guys. I'm going to end this video. And I'm probably not going to be able to upload it tonight because it don't look like the internet came on. But I will get it uploaded. Thanks for listening. Till next time, my therapist needs a therapist.